So what's up, y'all? What's up?
Hello, everybody in the radio land.
Radio Land. Guys, how does it
Radio
feel?
land.
How does it feel to be part of one of the best podcasts, out there?
It is awesome. I
Yes.
love our listeners. You guys are the best, and hopefully we give you guys some entertainment, some education.
Rez.
Hello, Rez.
So I just want to tell Rez that he's now part of our tribe. End of story. I have
Yes, I already told him that.
he's my love. Yeah, when I say tribal, I mean it because all three of us are in the same tribe.
Yes.
And Rez, I'd love to know more about your heritage if you would like to reveal that. Not that whatever you want to do with that, but I would like to invite you.
Oh yeah.
To discover a little bit about our United Tribes of South Carolina. We have a chief named Chief Lamar Nelson, and he is a very honorable person. He's a good chief. He teaches taking the high road. He's kind of like an Andy Griffith / Indian chief.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And he's an archaeologist, so he's super smart, and he's like a 6th-degree black belt or something. So he's just a badass. I love him.
Yeah. He's cool.
Yeah, I can't wait until we get to hang out with him again, y'all. It's gonna be
I can't wait. It's been a while since I've
Here he goes. He's Stockbridge Muncie Band of.
Well,
he's Mohican in the house. He's
love the
last of the Mohicans. Yes.
Excuse me.
Well, let's work on that, bro. Hey, Gabby. Thank you for watching. Thomas,
wait.
Time to get in. God love him.
Is he in? He's spinning?
There he is.
Hopefully I'll stay on.
Well, do tell us, honey, what was it like in Ohio? I saw the picture.
Oh, fantastic. We had a good time. Reintroducing after Dave Schrader's show, the 3 pillars, the Warren Society, Arjuna, and the Holy Sword Apostolate. It went really well. Got to see a lot of old friends, make some new friends, get to talk about all our stuff, what we do on the show here, and trying to create some other shows. So, long drive to create them.
Good, Thorn.
But it's been great. Parapsychon was awesome. If you didn't make it, make sure you make it next year. We're going to be back, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, let's also do a shout out for the Connecticut Paracon.
Just read below my name. Right below my name. So,
Yeah, we see that. And Gwen also ran the video about it. If you guys are, those of you watching, I invite you to join us. You don't want to miss this.
No.
But Patrick is going to be there. He is an icon. I mean, let's just face it. Those of us that have a Gothic soul, we love Butch. And from the Monsters, from Lidville, from so many different things. I know he loves cars. So, he's a lot of fun to talk to. He's a really good guy.
Yeah. Well, just so you guys know, there's going to be tomorrow, my partner, the shaman and the showman, Charles, we're going to be making a guest announcement nobody knows about. So it's going to be great.
Hey, Aisha, I was just thinking about you. Oh my God. I just love her. There's so much I've got.
So we'll see what happens.
Cool.
You can't wait. So tonight we are discussing something bizarre, something weird and wacky, and something smells in Denmark. Yeah. Boom! The death of Officer John O'Keefe, the murder trial of Karen Reed. And here they were, as it once was. And we've got, it's just a mess. Blaine was giving us a big rundown. I know you're traveling, so this is the only thing I've got at this moment that relates, okay? She's a 45-year-old financial analyst, and John O'Keefe was a Boston police officer. This incident happened January the 29th in 2022 in Massachusetts. The charges started as second-degree murder, manslaughter, while operating under the influence and leaving the scene of a fatal crash.
Okay. Now,
what the hell happened?
let me get into the lies of that already. Okay, we're starting out early with this onion. This first layer off,
Onion.
and we're gonna do this.
Onion, the onion.
We're doing onion, and our hashtag can be beyond a reasonable doubt because there's so much reasonable doubt in this case. It's not even funny. Now let's start with one. For one, she was never tested if she was drunk. Now she was drinking with a bunch of other cops, but she was never tested and she should have never been charged with it because they did not test her or arrest her for that. Okay. And they tried to accuse her of leaving the scene of an accident. Well, basically what happened, they had been at a party all night with a bunch of all these same cops at a bar, and they were going to have an after party at 34 Fairview Lane there in Canton, Massachusetts. And Karen was not too sure about going in because she only knew these people just from the bar that night, so she wasn't real comfortable. So she let John go inside the house first. And he was in there 4 or 5 minutes and never came back out. Well, she was pissed. And she started blowing up his phone, telling him, get the F out here, blah, blah, blah. And then she just said, you know what, enough of this shit, and got up and left. Went back to John's house where her and John lived. And she was gone. All right. Then, according to the police, they said that she hit him at 12:45 at night. Well, here's the problem with that. 2:30 in the morning, a snowplow driver drove by that house and cleaned up the street. There was nobody in that yard. Nobody. Okay. So Karen goes back home. Then she starts getting worried about it. So she's at John's house and decides she's going to go back over there and see what the hell's going on. Well, she gets back over there about 6:30. And, of course, John's body's in the snow now. But this is the funny thing. All of us know well enough, even if it snows, especially you, Thomas, because you live up north where it snows a lot. Even if it's snowing real hard, you drive a car up into a grass, it's going to leave a rut where that car drove through. It will fill in eventually, but it's not going to fill all in at once. You would have had tire tracks on that ground. There were no tire tracks. That's so. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I think the big thing is where they ended up finding him. They found him by the flagpole in the yard. Okay. Yeah. Now the problem I'm having is I wanted to do a lot of research on this. I didn't have a lot of time over the weekend, as you know, but I did find a few things. I Googled the house.
Yes.
All right. And you could do the street view and all that. I'm looking, it's a short, medium kind of driveway. It's wide. Then you have the whole yard. And the flagpole is almost at their property line.
Yes.
All right. So how if she pulled out and hit him, or even hit him on the street, how to get over near the flagpole? Well, if the plow driver didn't see him, which, I don't know. He had to have been placed there is the way I look at it. No tire tracks, none of that.
Yeah, this is what gets me okay. All right. She pulled into the driveway and let John out. Okay. And then after a while, she backed up. The only thing I can think of, if she did hit him, she had to come back and haul an ass out of that driveway, turn left to right, and just skid it up in there and hit him. But no, there was no tire marks. There was no nothing. And then the next one, this is the part. Wait, I'm going to get into some good stuff here. The next morning when they found her, Canton Police Department does not have the resources or the people to do a murder investigation or an accident investigation for that. So they're up there taking, no lie, they took a snowblower and was blowing snow away from the crime scene.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
Oh wait, this gets better. This gets more
contaminated. Oh, so they were contaminating evidence.
It gets better. Okay, after the dude does the snow blow job over there.
There it is. That's the hashtag. That is it.
Okay, they didn't have anything to collect the evidence with, so they used some Solo cups out of the back of one of the cops' cars. Solo cups now. Scooped it up with the Solo cup. And wait, this gets better. They put it in a plastic garbage bag like you get at the grocery store. That's how they contain evidence. I'm like, whoa, time out right there. Whoa. I said blowjob. Snow blowjob.
Yes. Hashtag snow blowjob.
Okay, there is my first reasonable doubt right there. It's like the collection was just insufficient. Any cop agency should have known better than that. They should have waited till they got somebody that could have got the evidence collected correctly instead of putting it in red Solo cups and putting it in the damn Publix bag, you know? Wait, this gets even more better.
More better.
More gooder.
More better. Okay.
More better.
So after the Keystone cops come over there and do a snow blowjob on the place and pick up evidence of plastic Solo cups.
Yep.
Okay. Then the body's sitting there. Okay, there is no
Jesus.
evidence of anything that could have shown she hit her. Well, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, all of a sudden this red tail light pieces all of a sudden are just on top of the body. They were not there at 6 o'clock in the morning when they were doing the blowjob on the snow.
Silence myself.
Yes.
That might be a new hashtag, blowjob in the snow.
Yeah, there you go. It's a little cold.
Yeah, all of a sudden, 45 pieces of this tail lens pops out. But wait, this gets better. That morning too, they had her car towed off. When they put the car on top of the wrecker, tail light was there. It was there, 100% there.
Yeah.
Because you know as well as I do, they have to check everything to see if anything's damaged before they take off with it, or they don't be blamed for it. Well, tow truck driver testified, hey, the tail lights were still on there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, at an accident scene, you have to take pictures of everything. Nobody took any pictures that I know of.
No.
But the problem is where he ended up by that flagpole. You have to consider if she did hit him, you know, where he was, she would have to have carried him. So that would mean she would have to hit him front, and he might be on top of the hood and then dropped into the snow. But the broken taillights in the back of the car, that's SUV, if she hit him, she wouldn't be able to carry him all that way and throw him into that area. So that's off the table right there.
Okay, do you see
Hey,
the
wait a
size
minute.
of her and the size of him?
Here's a picture, right? Yeah, that's what I was going to do for you.
Look how big he is. There ain't no way in hell that little woman's dragging that big behemoth across that snow.
Yep.
There's no way in hell.
I'm saying the car. She would have to hit him from the front to carry him into that flagpole. So.
Exactly. But the car there was no damage to the front at all, no damage to the back. Now this gets even better. The wrecker took the car over to the Canton Police Department and put it in their what do they call them? It's something dolly. It's like almost like a garage. They put it in there. Well, this is the funny part. The film that they showed in the trial, they had it reversed where you could not see that tail light. But you can see one officer on the other side by that tail light doing something with that tail light. When they reversed it, and the court, because the defense said, no, that's the wrong angle of that. When they reversed it, they actually saw pieces of that thing in the guy's hand, in the cop's hand. Now, this guy later on gets kicked out of the state police for being a liar on this case. And I think
he was text messaging other people about the case and making fun of everybody, and he got fired for that and a few other things. So, you know, that shows a bias there, and you can't have that.
Well, you got to remember, in the house there was at least 7 police officers and their girlfriends or wives in the house. Okay. How are you as a police officer not hear somebody at 12:45 in the morning? They ain't making noise. There ain't no noise outside. Not hear that car go, boom.
Good point.
But no, they don't do nothing. But that crooked cop actually was texting people inside too, because they're all cops in there. One of them was even an ATF agent. That Glenn brought up earlier, that she was never doing anything with the guy. They were just talking, and maybe something's gonna happen, but nothing ever happened with them.
They were saying that's the second guy, because the whole thing started because their relationship was on the rocks. So if any of these other guys had a problem with them, they're going to use that, So that shows negativity in their relationship they might have known about.
Yeah, here's another problem I have too, is when he went inside the house, there was a dog inside the house, German Shepherd, that did not like people. Unless he knew you, I think he was attacked by the dog because they found bite marks
on him. Yep.
And I think what happened, they panicked. My other guess is he had something on somebody in that house where they're corrupt drug dealer or whatever they were. I think they killed him and then waited till everything calmed down. And let me get to Jim McCabe on this one.
Hey, do I show the timeline now?
Go ahead and show the timeline now. We'll work off it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. Can you see that, or you want me to go to the other one?
No, this is perfect.
So Karen leaves Meadows Road, and then at 5:10 a.m., Karen calls Harry Roberts, and Carrie starts calling hospitals and calls Canton Police Department. And then at 5:11, black SUV seen on Canton Library camera headed towards the waterfall. 5:18, the black SUV seen at Washington and Chapman on Temple Beth Abraham video. Karen arrives at John McCabe's house, and Carrie Roberts arrives. Both see broken tail light.
So that's a fictitious, because it was never seen until it was on the ground.
All right, then
that's coming from the prosecution, but that's okay.
Yeah. I've got a case overview. All right, so we did that one already. Here. So this is what I was reading to you earlier, and you liked it. So Reed and O'Keefe were drinking at bars, and then Reed drops O'Keefe off at a party at Officer Brian Albert's house, and then O'Keefe found dead in the snow outside the residence. And then Reed indicted on murder charges in 2022, 2024. First trial ends in a mistrial.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at retrial commencing here. That's where we are now. Holy crap. That's why this is such a mess.
Yeah. And go back to that one slide about Jen McCabe, because I'm fixing to go off on her dumb ass.
Wait, I'm going to delete that one. I'll delete that. Okay, is that it?
Let's see. No, this one's fine. I'll get to it in a minute. I'll
take it down. Okay.
Okay. Go to the other slide that has Jen McCabe's name on it. This is where it gets interesting.
Okay. So Reed, intoxicated and angry. Yep. This is the prosecution. They say that Keith was struck by her SUV during a 3-point turn. The vehicle data indicating a trigger event at 12:31 a.m. Broken tail light fragments found near the scene. No. And Reed, she said she did a Google search on how long it takes to die in the cold.
She did not do that Google search. Jim McCabe did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She couldn't even spell it right.
She figured it.
Okay, so then O'Keefe, this is a defense argument, as you were just going through this. O'Keefe was beaten inside the house and then left outside, and Reed is being framed. The evidence is the injuries inconsistent with being struck by a vehicle, alleged misconduct by investigators, and discrepancy in the witness testimonies and timelines.
Yes.
Okay, that's where we were. And so here. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of discrepancies in witness testimonies and timelines. Okay, I'll bring the timeline thing up real quick. As of today, when I was watching it, third time a judge has granted a different death timeline for this case. Third time. God. And the defense was like, are you kidding me? You could determine this time. No, that ain't it. No, it's just you're making up rules as you want to go. That's just a bunch of crap. Yeah. Wait, this gets good too. All right, supposedly she hit him at 12:45 or 12:35, okay? 2:30 in the morning, a snowplow driver rode by, slowly plowing the street, and there was no body there. None. Zero. Nada. And there's no way he couldn't have missed it because that flagpole is right by a light. Let
me see if I can find a picture real quick.
It's not. And to me, it's like, how does I'm sorry, even in snow, you're going to see the red of a tail light lens. That's going to stick out like a sore thumb in the snow. White color, red color. Yeah. Oh, my favorite too is during the first trial, prosecution witness was a forensic scientist, and his exact words was, there is no way this man was involved in a vehicle pedestrian accident.
Oh.
Yeah.
That should have been enough right there. Like, okay, that's telling me that's an expert saying, okay, he was never hit by a car. So where did they come up with this bullshit?
His face looked like it was beat up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So if he was hit, if he backed into him, his face wouldn't look beat up. Especially if you fell into the snow. You know, you're getting, that snow and you fall into the snow. It's not as hard as hitting the pavement or whatever.
Thank you.
But, your face, he had like two black eyes and whatever. So he was messed up.
I can tell you this. I got hit by a car when I was a child. And I guarantee you, I had injuries on my legs, on my stomach, on my ribs. He had none of that. Nothing. No signs of
that's the whole,
nothing.
The whole thing is when the autopsy, there was no broken legs.
No bruises
there, right?
No break, nothing. And I'm sorry, you get hit by a car, and I can tell you from experience, your ass gets knocked, and you get up, and you're hurting. I hurt for about 4 months after I got hit by a car when I was a kid.
Oh my God! I bet you did.
Yep.
But yeah, I was watching that. I was like, okay, Jennifer can tell you this too, because she got hit by a car going across a crosswalk. So she's been hit by a car too. And both of us was like, there's no way in hell she could have hit him because there would have been damage. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here we go, babe. I think this is what you were just talking about. I'm trying to help here. All right. So see his arm.
Yes.
Okay, those are scratches from the animal, and there's a puncture wound that's unexplained by the prosecution.
Uh-huh.
And then if you look a little forward, in 2019, the Albert family registers ownership of a German Shepherd named Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they own Chloe. Here's this man, got bite marks and claw marks on him, and those are deep.
That's deep.
That's not playing. That's deep.
No, that's not playing.
No, that's a dog taking a hunk out of somebody.
And was rehomed out of state. That dog was put down.
Oh, that dog was taken out in the country and shot. I guarantee you that dog would never be found.
Damn.
Yep.
I hate it for the dog because,
Okay, and there's your flagpole. And look at how much snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
Look how far away it is from the house.
Yeah.
With that smaller part of the house, that's where the driveway is. Yeah. The smaller part of the house. It's over 100, more than 100 feet away. Got to be at least 150 feet away.
I think it was like 153 feet from the driveway over to where he was found.
Yeah. You know how hard you would have to hit somebody to launch them that far? So, It's impossible. It just doesn't scientifically.
You're right. The laws of physics go completely against that unless we're in an anti-gravity field. And last I heard, Earth had gravity. So
Shot out of a
it's the supernatural part of our show.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
aliens grabbed him before he got in the house, and then anal probed him, and then dropped him by the fire, the flagpole.
There you go.
I don't know.
This man's a big dude, okay, and for him to be knocked that far,
yeah,
no, I'm not believing that. No.
I'm with you. I am with you on that.
No.
There's no way in hell. Plus,
Definitely not.
that would have been abrasions and stuff on his back or his legs when he got thrown back. Even though he hit the snow, it's going to cause friction. It's going to cause some skin removal.
Thank you, Thorne. I'm with you. Clearly, he was not hit by a vehicle. No.
Oh, and he would have had broken bones.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I mean, his hips would have been broken. His legs would have been broken. His lower stomach would have been internal damage, possibly ribs. There was none of that. None.
And
you know my favorite part was?
Yeah, go ahead.
He had grass stains on his pants in that deep of a snow.
Yeah.
In the
How the hell
snow.
did you get that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
In the snow. Yeah. Okay. How deep that snow was, that picture you show, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, and just looking at what we've talked about so far, it's like, okay, beyond a reasonable doubt. There's so much beyond reasonable doubt here. And saying that Karen Reed, this is funny through the prosecution's whole thing is when she got back to the house around 6:30 or so, Jen McKay come outside and she looked at Jen and says, "Oh my God, did I hit him?" And what they brought up court is, "I hit him." They didn't put, "Oh my God, did I hit him?" I hit him. I'm like, whoa, time out. No, that ain't what she said. And that's what they're based their whole case on.
Yeah.
And this is another funny thing too. Going back to the snowplow driver, he was making another run about 4:30. All of a sudden, one of the sons of the family that lived in the house, all of a sudden his car's parked right in front where that flagpole is, where you couldn't see it no more. That's like, okay, if the guy was out there when the guy pulled up, I'm sure there's no way he could have missed the dude getting out of the fucking car and walking to the house.
Okay,
no, go ahead.
I got another pick for you. You're not going to believe this one, y'all. Okay, first I'm going to show you the first one, and we're still talking about the body, right? That looks like he swung at somebody. That's his right hand.
Oh, that's a swing.
Oh, he hit something.
He hit something. Yeah. He got him good with that middle knuckle, and it bruised up the hand. I've done that before.
Yeah.
I have too. And now this one says
he was definitely drunk. He was definitely drunk too, because he didn't throw a punch the right way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So look at this. This is a picture of them at the bar when they went drinking earlier in the day. Remember, we're doing the timeline. Okay, it looks like she's ready to run over him with her car.
Oh yeah, I mean they look like they're fighting and fixing to duke it out right there at the bar.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, go get a room.
That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like they're ready to go get busy. Move, bartender, I got some stuff to do.
So I'm not believing any of it. Nope.
No, I'm not either. Yeah. And I'm thinking that the cops there, because sorry to say this, Thomas, but northern cops aren't the most trustworthy. Like New Orleans cops are all a bunch of crooks, especially Massachusetts.
Well, you got your good ones, your bad ones, but the problem is, you got to realize the party was a bunch of cops.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to know how to do this stuff, and they're not going to want to lose out on their career or anything like that. Yeah. They're going to know how to cover it up. They're going to use the stuff I just said. Hey, they've been fighting a lot. Their relationship's on the rocks. Let's just use this. It doesn't take much.
It sounds like a cop out to me, because it's like, okay, let's throw it back that they were fighting. I guess they considered them fighting when he went inside the house and she got pissed because he didn't come right back in and tell her to come on in. Or, she got mad. Women, you get mad at something, you're going to fucking go off like men's do. But she went off on it.
Nah, you think?
No, she dog cussed him on phone calls and texts. You know what? I think she said, "The hell with this! I'm just going home." She got in the car and went home. Now, this is what's interesting: how the tail light got broke. She's in John's driveway, does a 3-point turn, bumps into John's car on that side where the tail light is. Then it gets cracked. It didn't break all the way, but it cracked it. That was not.
Well,
they got that on film on John's security camera.
But this is the big thing psychologically, guys. Psychologically, when a spouse or a girlfriend, boyfriend ends up dead, all right, yeah, they're always going to blame the other side, but you got to realize there's usually a pattern.
Yeah,
there's cops are called, they were fighting, this, that, and it leads up to it. It builds.
Yeah.
If she did hit him, if for some reason they could prove by a shadow of doubt that she did hit him, definitely an accident, because there's no reports of them having a fight or any domestic violence. So I really
showed the whole footage of them in the bar. They were lovey-dovey like that the whole night, talking and like you normally do at bars, saying hi to everybody, having your nights, get your drink on, dancing. They get in the car and they were going to an after party at that one cop's house.
Yeah.
But
I think he knew something, and they are afraid she knows something, and they're trying to get rid of her as well.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. It's like, okay, what dirt did he have on somebody in that house? That's what I want to know. Did he walk in and say, "Hey, I want to talk to you about this," and then all of a sudden, dog attack him, and then they start whomping on him?
Yeah,
because he looked like somebody beat the bricks off of him.
Would you like to see some of the autopsy? I don't have his body; it's just a drawing.
Let's see it.
Okay.
I hope you can read it. Okay, it's a little bit foggy, and I can't change it.
No, but what I'm looking at here, everything's above his breast line.
Yeah.
Look at his back. There's nothing like except for his arms. No, that's all upper body.
That's all fight above the shoulders, even.
Yes. And I'm sorry, you hit my car, there's going to be some broke ribs, some damage, some internal bleeding, some internal damage, and there's going to be something on his legs or his ankles or something because he got hit. His ankles might have snapped on him.
Look at the back side, where you see his back. That's his right arm.
Yeah.
He's got all that going. He got into an altercation at that party.
He did.
Yep.
Look at all the stuff around his head.
Yeah.
That tells me somebody beat the bricks off of him.
Yeah, he's got a problem with his eye.
Yeah.
His nose, his mouth. Unless that car just jumped up and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, that Lexus just turned into a transformer and just whooped the shit out of it.
Thank you,
now,
Chris,
I wonder
for joining us.
Did anybody ever look and to see if somebody drove a high truck that he got hit by?
Well, it still left the same marks in the snow. It was, especially you got a 3,000.
Well, they could have hit him somewhere else though, and then put him there with all the people that were at that party.
Possible.
Let's look at this picture. Let's look at this picture again. So this is called the tail light murder.
Yeah.
Okay, and you see there's the tail light, and
which did not show up till 5:30 that afternoon. It was not there earlier.
Thank you, Thorne. Thank you, Christy. Looks like we've got people from England.
This is awesome.
Oh my Lord.
Australia. We got people that have been messaging me from all over, y'all. Thank you so much for watching.
No, Rez, they were doing something. I don't think they had hookers and blow. I think they just had a good old beat down in there and took old boy out because I think he had something on somebody in there and they took up for each other. And I think they covered it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've got these other slides I prepared. It might not be relevant, but here, let me pop them up. If you don't want them, I'll take them down. Okay, so the prosecution's argument is that Reed, drunk and angry, hit O'Keefe with her SUV doing a 3-point turn. And because there was a triggering event that was registered by the vehicle's data. And then they said that about, how long does it take to die in the cold?
I just think that's funny because she never looked that up. It was Jim McCabe that looked that up.
Mm-hmm. So now we've got O'Keefe. It said the defense is saying, look, he was beaten outside the house and left outside.
Yeah.
And Reed is being framed. Injuries inconsistent with being struck by a vehicle. Misconduct by investigators. I can't read the last part, Gwen.
I'm sorry.
That's
okay.
I
was trying to click it off. It wouldn't click off.
Discrepancies in witness testimonies and timelines. All right. Yeah. So the next one, we did that one already. I think when I uploaded it, it must have just gotten me a double.
Yeah.
So here we go. Key evidence. Yes, thank you. Digital forensics, dispute over SUV data and phone records. Witness testimonies are conflicting accounts from party attendees. Oh boy, so they can't get their story straight at the party.
Nope.
Investigation integrity, allegations of cover-up and mishandling evidence.
Yes.
And then the public interest is of national attention and divided public opinion.
Yeah.
Let's don't forget that we're talking about New England, right? And we have a possible serial killer there.
Yeah.
This is not the time for this bull steak right here.
No. And that just makes me wonder, okay, if they could do this to Karen Reed, who else have they done this to up there?
I know. Anywhere. I mean, it's all the same. So here we have the retrial. Okay. And then the defense challenges expert qualifications on the SUV, and the judge allows this expert testimony despite the objections.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. We're in the middle of all this. The Karen Reed trial highlights complexities in criminal investigations, the impact of public perception, and the challenge of discerning truth amid conflicting narratives. What a mess.
It is a mess. It's like, okay.
So I have a question real quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is this being tried in the same county area?
Yeah, the only thing they changed was the prosecuting attorney. The first one did not want to redo the trial, so it's a brand new prosecutor on this one. Defense is still the same, location still the same judge.
They should have not done that before.
I thought there should have been a whole different judge on this one, because it almost, just for me watching the trial, it almost seems to me like she's trying to help the prosecution out because their case is being just disintegrated by their own expert witnesses.
Rez, you are correct. Barney Fife.
Oh yeah, terrible Steve. And that's an insult to Barney Fife. Rez.
That's true. Now,
Barney would at least she's one bullet.
I don't know. Is Karen Reed guilty? I don't know.
No, she's not.
So,
I don't know.
People.com reported that Karen Reed called her boyfriend 44 times about the time he died, saying, "You're effing another girl."
And that's to be stated. When you're pissed off somebody, you say the stupidest things anyway.
Yeah.
Especially when you're drunk and saying stupid shit. Yeah. You don't know what half the shit comes out of your mouth when you're good and drunk.
Through that.
So see, I agree with Christy. Do you see what she said? Being tried in the same county isn't fair. That's what I was asking about, because that shouldn't ever happen.
No, they should have went to a different jurisdiction. And I'm just trying to figure out how they found a jury pool for the second trial, because this thing has been everywhere, all over the
everywhere.
HBO's got a special on it.
Well, okay, as of today, the retrial of Karen Reed, I'm going to give you an update because I'm looking at it right now. As of today, it's in its 5th week at Norfolk Superior Court in Dedham, Massachusetts.
Same place.
Reed faces charges of second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence, and leaving the scene of a fatal crash in connection with this January 2022 death of her boyfriend. Okay. The development's expert witness scrutiny. The defense has challenged the credibility of prosecution. Sharon Burgess, a digital forensic analyst. She works with a company called Aperture LLC. defense attorney Robert Alisi questioned Burgess about the inaccuracies in his resume and his LinkedIn profile, suggesting potential bias and undermining his reliability as a witness.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, one thing he asked him, he says, do you have a degree in this? No, I do not. Do you have a degree in this? I do not. And this is funny. This is my Alabama part of the story. The witness went to school at UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. Yeah, he hasn't finished school.
What now?
He has not. He doesn't even have an undergraduate. He doesn't have an undergraduate. And I'm like, okay, how is this an expert witness on this? Okay,
all right.
You'll go find the billiest Alabama guy you can find and bring him up there to court. Calm the hell on.
Okay, so I know how you are about the SUV data. I know that's something that bothers you. So it got brought up today. Burgess testified regarding data from Reed's Lexus SUV, indicating a backup event that occurred at 12:32, and there were two apparently. One at 12:32, 04 seconds, and then 12:32, 12 seconds on the night of O'Keefe's death. And he noted a clock variance between the SUV system and O'Keefe's cell phone, which he attempted to reconcile using data from a 3-point turn earlier that night.
And this is funny. On film, they got her doing a 3-point turn, but it was at John's house after all of this stuff
pulling
happened.
out of the driveway and then going back up the street.
He pulled out the driveway, smacked his car, didn't realize she hit it, took off, did her 3-point turn, went on. When she left the house where John was dead at, she backed out of the driveway, went backwards toward her left, and then straightened back up and went back to John's house. She never went in the yard, not once.
All right, so there's also a hiccup with the DNA evidence. Two DNA analysts testified, and now they're saying, hold up, there's specific details about my testimony that has not been disclosed, but yet it's been available. So they're getting part of the story there. And then the defense continues to argue that Reed is being framed and O'Keefe is fatally injured inside the house where the party took place, possibly another law enforcement agent, officer, and they suggest the scene was staged to implicate Reed. So
that's exactly what I'm thinking. Because you had 5 police officers in the house. Okay, every one of them have done police work for quite a while. As none of them were rookies. They've been on the force at least 10 years apiece, if not longer. They would know how to stage a crime scene. And from what I'm seeing, that scene was staged like a mug, man. The tail lights just thrown up. All of a sudden, they appear at 5:30 in the afternoon. And, when the guy was out there doing the snow blow job, he didn't push a couple of things off.
You want to know the other thing? The other thing that gets me is, I think across the way or diagonal was another law enforcement officer that lived in the house. I think they said he was like a chief of some sort, and he had cameras. But for some reason, if I'm not mistaken, sorry if I'm adding something. I think it was this case where all of a sudden the footage disappeared and they didn't use it at all for some reason.
It was disappeared, and the cop across the street said, I forgot to turn it on that night, when knowing he turns that thing on every night when he goes to bed. To me, that was a crock of shit, okay?
Yeah.
I think he knew that something was going to happen over there, so he turned them off. But you're a police chief. You're going to have cameras on your house because you don't know who's coming after you. You might have arrested somebody. They're pissed off and their family's coming after you. You don't know.
Yeah.
I've got cameras on my house.
Yeah.
And get ready to put up more.
Why not?
Yeah.
No, Lord.
I mean, y'all, this is like the biggest cluster F y'all have ever seen in your life. And
yes.
This is embarrassing.
One of them, yes.
It is embarrassing. I mean, especially because I watch a lot of, and Thomas probably too, I've watched a lot of trials from beginning to end, and I listen to both sides. I listen to the evidence the prosecution presenting. I listen to what the defense is going against on that. what expert witnesses they have, and just it's got me befuddled. Like, how in the first trial did she get anybody vote and say she was guilty? I'm like, okay, once that one forensic expert said there was no way he was in a vehicular pedestrian accident, that should have been it right there.
Yeah.
That's saying to me she could not. That was a prosecution witness saying that she could not have been hit by a car, or she hit him with a car. There's no way in hell.
I know, it's got me too. It really does. All right, so I did a poll. Okay, and I just did some research on what does the public say about all this crap? Okay, that was a big question. So this is what I got. I did a poll. Okay, they support Karen.
Yeah.
A significant segment of the public believes that Karen Read is innocent and a victim of law enforcement cover-up. Supporters often cite alleged investigative misconduct, including the termination of lead investigator Michael Proctor for inappropriate conduct as evidence of a flawed prosecution. This perspective has fostered a robust online community. And I hope all of you are watching this. Yes. Because we are wondering what's going on. Okay. There is an online robust community that is dedicating their forums and social media groups behind rallying behind Read. Free and Read signs, pink attire, a color associated with her supporters. Okay. So this is out of the New York Post and Boston University.
Well, you know what's funny?
Excuse me.
After the first trial ended in a mistrial, all them people outside started yelling, "This is bullshit! This is bullshit!" Yeah.
They need to be saying it now too.
Oh, they are. It's like it's like a prime ticket if you get into the courthouse now. They're the same group of people now. There's more of them sitting outside, and I mean. It just happened to me. Go ahead.
I got two more summaries. Let's see what you guys think, okay? And those of you watching, please comment. Gwen will pull it in.
I have been.
No, I know you have. All right, so we have skepticism and criticism.
Okay.
Conversely, others view the defense claims of a conspiracy as unfounded and believe that Read is responsible for O'Keefe's deaths. Critics argue that the defense narrative relies heavily on speculation and lacks concrete evidence. This faction emphasizes the importance of focusing on facts rather than what's been present in court, rather than these external narratives. And then finally, here's the impact of the media and public discourse, which is why we're doing what we do. Okay, this is why we're bringing this to the forefront. The case has been extensively covered in media, with some commentators noting that it's been litigated in the court of public opinion and in the courtroom in real time. The proliferation of information and misinformation on social media platforms has blurred the lines between factual reporting and rumor, contemplating a public understanding of the case. Now, that came from Northeast Global News. This intense public scrutiny has led to heightened tensions, including clashes between supporters and detractors outside the courtroom, like what Blake was saying. In response, authorities have implemented measures such as expanding buffer zones to maintain order during the proceedings. Now, that's why Gwen was saying what she was saying about why is it even in the same county.
Yep.
And one of our viewers mentioned that, Christy, I think. So in summary, Karen Read's retrial has become a focal point for a broader societal debates, with public opinion sharply polarized between those advocating for innocence and those asserting her guilt. The case underscores the complexity interplay between legal processes, media coverage, and public perception. That's a quote from New York Post. So what do you guys think?
Okay, what I'm thinking on that is, okay, what evidence has the prosecution brought out there that holds water? There's nothing that they brought out. Their own witness said he was never hit by a car. There was no tail lights there in the morning. There was, okay, she said, "Oh my God, did I hit him?" And they put it in there, "I hit him." Instead of, "Oh my God, did I hit him?" She didn't know if she did or not. And come to find out, no, she never hit him, because their own witness wouldn't have said no, he was not involved in a vehicular pedestrian accident. I mean,
well, psychologically, when we're speaking to each other, we only remember key words psychologically. So when somebody's saying those joining words tend to go away when you're trying to remember what somebody said. You only remember those key words. And I think this situation is that somebody recalled not having the connecting words.
Well, the defense brought it up. Her exact words were, "Oh my God, did I hit him?" Like she didn't know. But when they just put in there, did I hit him? Or I hit him is what they put in there. And there's too many witnesses that okay, the tail light wasn't there. The snowplow driver did not see anybody laying in the yard. Why would they rehome the dog? And why would one of the kids, after all this was done, park his car right in front of the flagpole where nobody could see what was in the yard? That's hinky.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the body was in the car and they pushed him out the passenger door.
Could be.
They should check the car.
Oh,
but they're not.
No, it got sold already. The car's already been sold.
What?
Yeah, the car's been sold. Oh yeah, and plus they got every one of them got rid of all their phones. Every one of their phones was destroyed. Yeah, this is like this onion is so big we don't have a peeler big enough for it.
No, we don't. God dang! All right, so I just did a search, right? On the inconsistencies during this trial. And oh my God, there's like 7. Okay, we have the cause and nature of O'Keefe's death, the injuries. Okay, we know there's a problem there. This 3-point turn, whatever, did not happen. I mean, something happened, but it's just not lining up. Timeline discrepancies where they have a backup event at 12:32 a.m., which prosecutors are saying is tied to her hitting him, but O'Keefe's phone activity continued past that time.
Yep.
Creating questions. When did he die? Okay,
Yep.
That's that. We've got tail light fragment evidence that's in the wind. We've got defense arguing that those fragments were planted or could have easily been moved. So there's a problem there. And then, of course, we've got Michael Proctor, the lead state trooper, being unprofessional, biased, inappropriate text, mocking read.
There's more. There's more.
Yeah. Then we've got the phone and Google searches. Where did the phones go? Why are they gone? Phone was accessed by multiple people, and some of the data could have easily been manipulated or misattributed. Okay, so there's inconsistencies there. We've got witnesses at the party and other places saying different things, and it's inconsistent. We've got surveillance and security footage that's not right, incomplete or lost. What the heck happened there?
Now this is something else too. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head and hypothermia. It says nothing about hit by a car. Blunt force trauma to the head.
That man laid out there and froze to death.
Yeah, they beat his ass, took him out in the snow where he stumbled. Yeah,
they beat him, and he was still alive when he went in the snow. That's why Jim McCabe did that search. How long does it take to die in the cold? Yeah, no, that's right. That's just what we can find. I had one of this. Me and Jennifer sitting there had these discussions on a regular basis. Every time we watched an episode, it was like, okay, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. How can they do this and say it did this? The tail light really bugged me too a lot.
Yeah. Christy, I'm with Christy. That tail light really bothers me. There's something.
You watch the film that the prosecution put out there. They had a reverse angle of her car in the Sally Ports, what that thing was called, and they had it reversed angle. Well, the defense said no, that's not right. They made him turn around, and you see that state trooper guy over there fiddling around with the tail light. Then all of a sudden, 5:30 in the afternoon, nobody saw it all day, and all of a sudden, just 45 pieces of tail light just pops up out of nowhere. No. I'm wondering if the cops were stupid enough, especially that Powell guy, the bad cop, if he was stupid enough to pick it up with his bare hands and have his fingerprints on there.
That would be interesting.
That was never tested.
I was watching a show last night. It was like next 24 hours or something. And this man who was a detective had a stick and was trying to get some of the evidence over the fence.
Yeah.
And he finally just reached over and grabbed the bottle like that.
Oh!
And had his hand on and said, well, if there's any fingerprints on the bottom, those are mine. And threw it to the cop, and he catches it like that. I'm like, please don't make me come over there and show you how to do this. Y'all messing it all up, And
it's like that evidence is just contaminated to all beyond contamination. That's thrown. That's gone.
Yeah. And then he was going, he was going, oh, that poor girl that got murdered. This was the last thing she held. And come to find out it wasn't even hers. It wasn't even hers. I was like, what is going on? This show has enlightened me so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You want to know something simple? You want to know something simple?
Please.
Yeah.
The people on the inside of the house said he never came in.
Yes.
And she said she left, but listen, it's snowing out. What happens when it's snowing out? We slip and fall. Who's to say he didn't slip and fall and bang his head? And the family let the dog out to go to the bathroom. The dog sees him in the snow thinking he's an intruder, bites him, right? And then they find out, oh, this guy's dead. We're going to get in trouble. And then moves him by car that blocked over to that area to make it look like it's away from the area. There's a lot of what ifs that causes a lot of that. Maybe what's going on. So.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't think about him, busting his ass on the concrete. No, it couldn't be that easy.
Wait a minute.
Let
me show that.
Slip and fall, they would have just called the cops and hey, this guy had an accident. You send an ambulance over. That's what should have been done if that happened.
Yeah.
Look, here's the back of his head. And I was thinking when I looked the very back of his head, like he just slipped and busted his head.
Yeah. And the thing is when the plow driver came by later on, right? He might have already been buried by snow who knows where he fell. He didn't see him because he's already buried with snow. The plow might have carried him over to that spot and left him there,
Well, the plow would have had to go off-road. Plus, there's a fire hydrant right there that has a pole on it where you can see the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
There was not enough room between the fire hydrant and that pole for him to get a plow truck up through there to push him onto the yard. So you throw that explanation out. But you
or the other thing is he already froze to death when the party let out and they came out. And they're like, oh crap, he's dead. We got a dead body in our yard. What are we gonna do? So that kind of thing, and the panic sets in.
The thing is too, though, he not only had blunt force trauma to the back of his head, the front of his face was like he was a punching bag. So I fell down enough in the snow. I know you have too. You fall, you hit your ass, you bunk your head.
I've definitely done that. And my tailbone.
But I ain't getting my face looked like I fought 10 rounds with Tyson. His face looked like somebody jacked the shit out of him, like he just got whooped like a mule.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like to throw different theories out there because that there's doubt. And you want to know the weird thing is I don't know how it connects, but I found it interesting that somebody compared this court case, how big it is, to the Lizzie Borden case back when it happened.
Oh, did you see that there's new evidence?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not.
There's some that they just released some new evidence that had never been seen before. And
really?
So I thought I'd throw a flag on the play tonight and say, can we get a little into that next week?
Please. I just want to hear throw a flag and let them know the new evidence real quick.
I know, but this is too good. I don't want to let this go.
Okay.
I just thought maybe next week we can. Some of the things that when you've been hit by a car, depending on the height of the car, like Gwen was indicating, it depends on how high it is. But there's usually an impact spot is what this is, and a neck problem. Okay.
Yes.
He has none.
He doesn't have. Now he hit the back of his head, but that would have been when he, like Tom was saying, busted his arm.
Or somebody hit him upside the back of the head when he was in the house.
Well, I will tell you, my former mother-in-law was hit and killed by a car, and it damaged her knees, it damaged her hips. I think Blaine,
lower extremities is always a car
lower
accident.
extremities. And she was driving a vehicle that was low to the ground, and there's all his injuries is like from here up.
Yeah.
And here. So it's not consistent. It's just not consistent.
No, it's not.
This is a waste. This reminds me a little bit of the Amanda Knox trial.
Yeah.
With all the media, fanfare.
Y'all think of this, though.
That's right, Christy. Christy's right.
If she comes out of this case as proven innocent, God, the lawsuits. Her lawyer right now is sitting there. Oh, he's looking at dollar signs. They've already signed another contract to do a follow-up show on the first one of another series, and I believe that HBO Max paid them up front a nice whopping $10-15 million to do it. And they paid her and her attorney for the first one. She got paid 10.
She needs to move right now. If she can't move,
Hey, if this comes out she's innocent, she better be having a big ass house on the beach in Fort Walton Beach somewhere, you know?
Yeah, but she needs to get the hell away from that place.
Oh God, yeah. Because now if she doesn't, what other cops that are crooked up there are going to retaliate against her?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, who was the one that moved to London? What was that Chicago Bears guy? Stuff and moved to London or whatever. Trying to cover the NFL in London. It's like, okay.
Lord.
Bless it. He's making it.
He had the right idea. Get the hell out of Dodge. So yeah.
Well, I have to say though that this lady has been able to make an argument. She's got a law team that is fighting for her, that believes in her, and they're rallying this social media.
But why did they not insist that she be tried somewhere else? Being there is terrible.
They tried to do a change of venue on it, but it was overruled by the judges doing the case now. She overruled it. So from the beginning, she didn't have how you going to find a jury in the first or second trial for this shit? And how are you going to get a fair trial when you already got the judges being a dumbass and blocking stuff that shouldn't be blocked and having evidence not be put into evidence that should have been evidence? Some of the stuff she's doing is like, okay, she in on this gaffed? I mean, really?
You want to know that this reminds me of? Remember when we had Rebecca on and we talked about the Pam Hupp murder?
Yeah.
Yes.
The things she went through to set up, her best friend that she ended up being, convicted of murdering her husband and he was in prison for a while because of it until they figured it out. So, yeah. Something stinks up there in Massachusetts. I think it's a snow job with a blow in the middle.
It's a snow job.
Throw it up. I'll beat you to it, Gwen. I'm gonna beat you to it.
Go ahead. Get it.
That's what it is. This whole case.
That was just off the top of my head. I'm like, okay, he's sitting there blowing the snow away.
Those are the best ones.
I was like, that's a snow job.
That's it, honey. That when your brain functions like that, it kills me to the core. It hits my funny bone. You've done it when I have to mute.
Yeah.
I mean, this makes sense. It's like, okay, why out there with a snowblower to begin with at a crime scene? Aren't you?
I want to put this out there, and I think Thomas may agree. I know a lot of law enforcement people because of what I used to do.
Yes, you do.
The very first things they teach you when you get out of school or before you get out of school, let me say that, is you do not fuck with evidence.
No, you don't.
You use.
Don't hold back.
Don't fuck with it. And you don't be a dumbass because it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. So, that's the first things they teach you.
And they got it on film, the dude sitting there with a blower.
And solo cops? What the? No.
This is the funny part. They come out of his car. It's like you don't know if he was drinking a vodka and Coke or vodka and orange juice and that damn thing before he put the snow in it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the trash bag was just something he had. Well, not trash bag, but his grocery bag that he had in there just came out of his car too.
Yeah.
Ain't no telling what's in.
And you want to know the other thing?
They might have
the snowblower. The snowblower convinces me more that he wasn't hit by a car.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
when you're in a car and you run over snow, it packs it down. So
Thank
the
you.
snowblower is going to blow the loose snow, and there still wasn't any track marks.
Perfect.
So they actually kind of
Perfect.
proved the point by doing something
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
We all need to think about poor
Cool.
Kevin McCabe, the snowblower driver, because
Yep.
he's the one that's going to make. I think he's the one that's going to make this case, because he said when I went through there between 2:30 and 2:45, there was not a body there.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And they're looking, especially, they don't go flying down those streets. They go slow because sometimes you can't see where the curb is itself. If there's some objects in the way that you might hit with the plow, they're going very slow and marking their stuff, and they're looking left and looking forward, looking right. He looked over right, there was nothing there but snow. And if a body had been there, that body would have stuck out like a sore thumb.
Oh yeah.
Or it might have been a thumb sticking up out of the damn snow. Who knows? But
Yeah. And there had to be at least a little blood if it's where he was killed.
yeah.
So it wouldn't have been all white.
I kept trying to find that picture. I couldn't find it.
Oh, I wish you had that picture of him digging it up with a solo cup. That was like, oh my God.
Man,
Lee?
lots of-
Lee, do you remember that day we were at a certain location and Mom had to hold me down? That's how it feels. You know what I'm talking about. I can't say.
Yeah. Oh, Thorn.
Yeah, that's
Where
perfect,
have you
though.
guys been?
Well,
you
I'm
know,
going to say this for all
Monday,
of
too.
us. The old viewers, the new viewers, thank you guys.
Oh,
Invite
you-
people,
no, thank
share, like,
Please.
subscribe, please.
We do these shows for you guys as well as us. And I hope you were informed tonight. I hope you were entertained tonight. And hey, you learned some new words.
Wait, let's pull it up one more time, Lee. You ready?
You're going to beat me this time.
I don't think so.
Oh,
There you
there
go.
it is.
You got it. Dang it. She got it.
We've got a lot of hashtags. Those of you that are new to the show. Oh, yes. Please come back.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yes, please.
Oh.
Invite
Yeah.
people. Invite people,
Please
please.
invite-
Especially what we'll need to do with this Lizzie Borden thing, the new evidence, is to maybe show our previous show and then discuss some of the new evidence. It needs to be a double feature. We might not be able to do it next Monday because we'll have to dig a hole in the schedule to be able to do 2 hours.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe we could just, go through
We'll
it and
think
pick
about
out
it.
the highlights. We'll
think
do
about it.
something. We'll do something because we have a show before, we have a show after.
Well,
2 hours. So yeah.
What shows do we have Sunday night?
There's at least one because we collaborate with Sean. So his show is at 8 our time, my time. So 7 you guys.
What I was suggesting is after Sean's show, play a repeat of that one on Sunday night after Sean's. That way they can catch it then and come back to the new show Monday.
Yeah.
There you
That's a
go.
great idea.
That's a
Double
great
whammy.
idea.
And stay and watch Sean's show before you watch the other replay of ours.
There you go.
Thank you,
There you
Christy.
go.
I sure hope you'll come
Yeah.
back.
Yes,
Oh, we do
please.
too.
You and am I saying it right? Thorn.
Thorn.
Excuse me.
Thorn.
Making
Thorn?
sure I say it right. But thank you
Did
guys
I
for
say Thorn?
Torn.
His name
I don't
is
know.
Thorn. Thorn.
Like a rose and a
It's
thorn.
thorn.
Yeah.
You're all one.
That's
I
us.
like that.
We are.
All right,
Alright.
guys. I'm gonna get us out of here because I got 15 minutes, and I gotta go to little girl's room before another
Right,
show.
right,
So.
All right.
Bye. Thank you, bye everybody. Come back next week, and we'll be advertising too.
Yep. We'll see ya.
All
All
right,
right.
bye.
Let's see. He says, thorn.
Okay, I got you. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.